I'm gonna just show some of the things real quick what I have. For all of you that don't want to test it, maybe you want to use it the way I have it and get the most optimal settings. I'll tell you what I have on and off and what have you. First thing is you got to go to accounts. Okay, you go to menu, settings, and then you go to accounts and sync. I'm not gonna go in there because I have some of my information. But once you go in there, there's several things. There's news. Let me see. Let me go off camera real quick. There's just take my word for it. The two top check boxes I don't mess with. Background data and auto sync. Just leave it alone. In my opinion, this is all in my opinion. If you want to follow what I do and get good bat and you know, and I get good battery life, then go ahead. You can mess with it as you please. But if people that don't want to mess with it for a couple of days and find out what they like and they just want to do something quick and dirty, then you can. I'm telling you basically what I have. So the background data and auto sync, just leave it checked. The Facebook for HTC Sense, I have the live feed and contacts both checks on, but the frequency where when you click on account settings and then you go to update schedule, I have it for once a day. I don't need to know. I don't use that the friend stream as my main Facebook. I use the Facebook program, but I just like this because it updates the status on my contact list of people that I have there, and also the picture every once in a while it changes it, so that's cool when someone calls me or what have you. Your main Google for your calendar, contacts, and Gmail, you can't really mess with that unless you don't want to get, you know, push email and contacts and calendar. The news, the stocks, and the weather. Now those three things, I don't use that. I don't need that to refresh every 3 hours or 2 hours or whatever. If you can still use those apps, you can still go in there and manually refresh them. So I went into each one of those. Like for example here, this is in the accounts and settings. I went into new weather and I just unchecked this box. And this is the same for stocks and news. Once you do that, it pretty much stops syncing. You know, so it doesn't do it automatically without you touching the phone. You can still go into those applications and manually sync them, but if you don't want to sync every 2 hours or 4 hours, then you can just go ahead and uncheck that, and you'll save some battery life there. Another thing, wireless networks. Okay, under Wi-Fi settings, okay, you go to, let me back up here, wireless and networks. Under Wi-Fi settings, there's a thing that says network notification. That's pretty much saying if you want to leave that Wi-Fi on all the time and you want it to tell you when there's a Wi-Fi thing around you, if you uncheck that, you might save some battery life. So I uncheck that because I know what Wi-Fi hotspot I'm going to connect to, or I always want to be connected. I don't want to just leave it on all the time. Also with the mobile networks, a lot of people, I've heard on the forums here and there, that enable always on mobile data. To uncheck it, that it might save battery. When I unchecked it, I found out that the email wasn't syncing. I wasn't getting pushed Gmail as I should, and things like that. Okay, one thing that I have that doesn't come by default, and most people might not. I have everything to vibrate. So when I get a call, text message, email, voicemail, I think everything I have, which voice is more battery. So you know, there you go. You do that as if you want to. I uncheck the haptic feedback, so when the phone vibrates whenever you touch it. I don't like that. Screen timer, I left it at 1 minute. The LEDs, I left them on. The brightness, I have it like this now, so that people can see the screen. But normally I have it right here, right above the where the middle line between the OK button and the cancel button is. Right there I have it. I don't put automatic brightness. I think that messes with the battery more. The animations, I leave it alone. Orientation is checked. Sound profile, I always have my sound like ringer all the way up. And again, everything vibrates, which is supposed to waste more battery. Sorry for this long video, guys. I'm probably gonna split it into two. So if you guys want to see it. Okay, for location, you don't have to do this, but I uncheck use wireless networks and GPS. Okay, the use GPS satellites, that's just for GPS, to turn it on and off. There's a widget here in the home screen for GPS on and off. You can turn it on and off there real quick. If you're not using GPS or any like Facebook or Foursquare or any application that use GPS or navigation, there's no sense in having it on. Whenever you go into those applications, it will tell you like, hey, GPS is off. You want to turn on? And you can do that. So again, also if you're not using 4G, there's no point in having it on. Or even if you have 4G and you think that's hampering your battery, obviously you just don't have it on all the time. I mean, it's pretty simple. Doesn't mean the phone is unusable. Like most people, like a lot of people said that if you turn everything off, then the phone is unusable. That's BS. I mean, you do whatever you want. You know what I mean? You just try it out. Try the phone in different ways inside of 30 days. And if it's not, if you still don't like the phone after 30 days, even when you're messing with the different things, or you feel like you're having to do too many things, then don't get it. Just wait for the Epic 4G if you're on Sprint or something else. Those might have better battery life, but I personally think this phone is awesome. If you're not using Bluetooth, obviously turn it off. If you're not using Wi-Fi, obviously turn it off. Okay, the location. Okay, this is use wireless settings. That is, so if you don't have the GPS turned on, anything that needs Wi-Fi, anything that needs GPS or your location can use the networks or Wi-Fi spots around you. You can turn that on if you want to. I think by default it comes on. I turn it off because I figure it's gonna use my location or GPS, or some applications might use my location without my knowledge, and it might waste battery life. Again, that's my choice. If you want to leave it on, it's up to you. I don't know if this is gonna maybe mess with the battery much. I haven't felt like it messes with any of my applications. Again, whenever there's an application that needs GPS, like Google navigation or Sprint navigation or something like that, it gives me a little pop-up that says, do you want to use navigation? Go to your, here you go, flip it on. And it gets me to the settings and I flip it on, no big deal. Here on privacy, there's a thing that says use my location. Again, this is one of those things where like Google just whenever you do a search, the location service is automatically on. Again, I think this either uses GPS or uses the towers around you. I turned it off because I just don't feel like Google tracking me or whatever, or using my extra battery or using my location services whenever I don't feel like it. You know what I mean? If I go to like google.com, it knows where I am, and if not, I just put in my my zip code. I don't have a problem with that. But again, just turn this on if you feel like it's messing with your phone, with your experience. Okay, on the Facebook application, on the settings, there's an option that when anybody pokes you or puts something on your wall or sends you a message or tags you or whatever, you get a notification from the Facebook app itself. I turned that off. There's a little button on the top that you can let me go off screen real quick so you guys can see. You go in the Facebook application, you go to settings, and then right on the top, right on the top, there's a notifications checkbox. You uncheck that and it doesn't notify you for any of this crap. Now, all these things, I have my Facebook by default, and my Facebook by default, if anybody does any of this, I get an email. So if you're gonna get push email, and we have Gmail, we have push email, what's the point of having this notify you also? That's double notification, so that's useless. So to me, I just turn this off. I don't use this. That will probably save you some battery. The Facebook, what's that called? The friends feed. Where is it? The friend stream thing here. I think that also notifies you. Again, I went in the settings of that and I just turned it off. There's a lot of little apps here and there that you have to go in the settings and make sure that it's not auto refreshing every hour, or a bunch of these. Some of these apps might refresh or pull data or whatever every half an hour, every hour, every 4 hours. Those are the things that waste his battery. Because even if the app is not running, some of these still, they wake up and they pull data. So just quickly look at the setting of your apps. It's not a big deal. You do it one time, they're not gonna flip themselves on later on.